live. So hello, welcome to Unniche Your Niche live this Friday. So today we're going to be talking about getting clear on who your A-list client is. So this is the person that you want to work with and who wants to work with you. So we're going to get really clear on this because I know it could be a real problem. I get people asking me all the time questions like, oh, should I focus on small businesses? Should I focus on corporates? I'm not sure what one to make a decision and go for. Or they ask me, I've worked with a few of these type of businesses. Does that mean that I now have to focus on this type of business and go all in on this person? Or actually, there's so many different types of businesses I work with. I don't think there is any specific person that I do work with, and therefore I don't know who to target or who might be a potential customer when I see them and when I start speaking to them, because I just work with so many different people. So it's just really confusing about who my client is because everyone is so different. So today we're going to talk about some questions you can ask yourself that will just make it a little bit clearer. And hopefully you will start to see maybe there is a pattern in who you work with. And if not, that doesn't matter because these are things that you can think about as you're going along. But it is important to get clear on who you want to work with. So let's get started. So if you're watching live or you're watching on the replay, do say hello in the comments and do ask me any questions as we go along, and I will answer them at the end. So we'll have a question and answer kind of session towards the end of the live. So to get started, so how do you start to get clear on who your ideal customer might be? So the first thing you can think of is having a look at all your current clients, look at your past clients and think, are there actually any similarities here? Are they the same sort of business? Are they a really similar sector? Are they all at the same stage of business or size of business? Is there anything that seems to jump out at you that actually when they're all written down, you do start to see a pattern? And so this is just literally going on who you've worked with before and who you're working with now. Are there any patterns? If there's not to worry, especially if you haven't maybe worked with many people or many businesses. There may not be a strong pattern, but that's okay. This is just the first step to actually kind of looking back and seeing actually who, are there anything that jumps out straight away? So the second thing, now you've got this list of your clients, is there, out of these clients, who do you like working with? And I don't necessarily mean that in an individual level, but were there any sorts of businesses that you felt that you gave more value to? So as well as liking, perhaps it's got to do with the value that you gave them. So do you feel that you, say for instance, you feel that you can give product businesses a lot more value because you've come from a product business background, or actually on the flip side, you've never worked with products, so actually you don't feel you can give them as much value as someone in the service-based industry. Or perhaps it could be that you come from a corporate background and that you feel that you work better with small businesses because you've got that corporate background, you feel you can give them more value. Or perhaps it's actually that you feel you give more value to corporates because you understand them and understand how they work because of your background. So it's thinking about, who do you feel you give more value to and who do you like working with? So this could be that actually you feel that you get much more out of working with a certain sector, because once again, it could be something that you know really well. So it's just thinking about, actually, out of all these people, who was it that I felt that worked really well working together, and who do I give most value to? And then you can even start thinking about, actually, who out of all these businesses did I have a bigger connection with, and why was that? Maybe it is certain personality types, or kind of mindset of the people that you want to work with. It could just be, actually, the people I work best with are people who seem to be at this particular stage of business, in their business even, and it's because they're more motivated and they want to get to this stage that I help them get to. So just have a think about this with the clients you've already worked with. And then, as well as thinking about who you like to work with and who you feel you give most value to, think about it on the flip side. Who did you not like working with? And why was that? Kind of talking about that kind of product service analogy I gave earlier. It may be that you felt that actually you didn't really feel that you liked working with product businesses because you have no experience with that, or perhaps it's the same with service-based businesses, and actually that you felt that didn't really work as well as it could have been. Or perhaps it's actually you feel that you're working with people right at the beginning of their businesses, and actually that's not really the level you're aimed at. So actually, it's better for you to work with people who are 2 or 3 years into their business, or kind of vice versa. Actually, the people who were already a little bit further along, you felt didn't quite get as much out of working with you as people right at the beginning. So it's really important to, as well as know who you want to work with, it's thinking about who you might not want to work with, and that is just as important, because knowing who might not be the right sort of person is good for you when you are speaking with someone, or knowing what stage of business they're at, and then it can help with your marketing as well, and you can kind of tweak things that kind of the people who are the wrong type of client won't resonate with, so you're kind of removing them right at the beginning. So they're the 3 things to think about from your perspective. So thinking about, actually, who do I like or not like working with, and where do I give the most value? And then the final thing is just thinking about, so flipping that and thinking about it from your client's point of view. So now you're kind of clearer on who you feel is your ideal client. It's now thinking about, okay, why do they want to work with me? So what is it that makes them think I'm the perfect answer for them? So it's thinking about their pain point. What situation are they in that you help with? How do you answer their questions that they're having? And it's kind of then marrying up the two. So thinking about, okay, now I understand who I want to work with. And why would they want to work with me? So it's thinking about those pain points, which are so important. And I'm sure I bring them up in every single video that I do, because it is just so important. If you don't understand why someone will want to buy from you, you can't think about the best products for them. You can't think of how to market to them. You can't think of what language to use to attract them that they'll really resonate with. So it is really, really, really important. So I bang on about it all the time, but it is something that you should be thinking about all the time. So that's some little tips there about how to get clear. And the main thing to think is, actually, if you're thinking of all those things and you're thinking, actually, I don't know, I'm still not sure about some of the answers to these, it doesn't matter. Sometimes with getting clear on who your client is takes time, and it is more of an organic process. So if you're not too sure about actually who it is you give most value to, and you're enjoying working with all sorts of different people, then keep doing that, because that is important, because it will start to become clearer the more you work with certain people or certain industries. It will become clearer, and it's not to panic and think, oh my God, I don't know who it is. I'm not being clear because it could be anybody. It's just taking a step back and thinking, it will happen. It's just being organic. It will come out organically. So don't worry about it too much. And the other main thing to think about is not to get too het up on the demographics of the people, of actually, is it this person of this age who lives in this type of house, drives this sort of car? This is not what I'm talking about at this stage. It's great if you do know those sorts of things because you've looked back at past clients and there seems to be a pattern, but don't just start with thinking about those things. Like if you haven't worked with many people or there isn't a kind of obvious pattern coming out, then don't try and pinpoint them all into a certain type of person. It's okay for them to be not 100% like demographic based, because you can add that if it is appropriate later on. But it's to think about the pain points and how you give the most value. So they're the two things to take away, really. Who do you feel you give the most value to, and why would someone, and who is the person that you would be the number one choice for? Cool. So that's the end of the session. So I hope you found that useful. If you've got any questions, then do message me now, and I wait to see if there are any questions. If not, then, and you're watching this on the replay, then do add questions and I will answer them for you. So cool. I don't think there's any questions. So that's it from me this Friday. So I will see you next Friday at the same time of 12 o'clock. And yeah, and have great weekends and I will see you then. Bye.